Good afternoon, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 6th edition of Crimson Tide Live right here on Alabama, the voice of college football from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, and my partner in crime, Johnny Burtz, as we bring you the latest news and notes of the Alabama Crimson Tide, giving you our take on what's going on this week and what went on last week. Plus, we give you our take on what's going on with our rivals, including what's been going on with the Auburn Tigers as they went up against the Oklahoma Sooners. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a wild ride. How you doing today, Johnny?
Doing well. All's good.
There
Kind of
we go.
excited
I know.
after a long weekend. Kind of excited, feeling good. Start the week, and so Saturday was a good day. Auburn lost, and Alabama won.
Yep. I mean that's all. Kind of like how USC considers it a perfect day when they win, and Notre Dame and UCLA lose. I guess we could consider that a perfect day when we win and Auburn, Tennessee lose,
Yeah,
and we win.
can't complain. No reason to complain. That's a good day.
So there we go. But yeah, it was a wild performance on Saturday, and we got the chat going. Five Adams says, "Roll Tide roll." Well, we give out a roll Tide roll as well. And Caden the man wishes us a good evening, and Rough Rider Returns gives us a hello. How you doing today, Rough Rider? And Five Adam says that Jeremiah Beeman and Keon Keeley need to play versus Vanderbilt. Well, we'll definitely get to that in just a little bit, but my God, Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, the first half, it looked like we were going to be really defeating Georgia, right?
Yeah, it was a
Because,
good. But I mean, it was a good start. Things were, everything was smooth running machine. Little glitches there toward the end, and then of course second half. Good football teams, you never count them out. Yeah, it's 10 round. It's a 10 round fight, 4 quarters, and got to play the whole game. And when those seeds of doubt kind of start appearing, and you start second guessing yourself, good football team is going to respond, and Alabama did that. They responded.
yes, they did. It looked like Georgia was coming back and we were just blowing it for a little bit. It's like we can pull that kind of crap with Carson Beck, but we cannot be pulling that against Nico Lima-Leva against Tennessee.
True. It's going to have to be a lot better, just start to finish. You always want to, and of course, it's toward the end of the season. You want to full games, play the full game. Don't have any letdowns and things like that. So, but the good news is they had a little letdown there through the middle. Toward the end, third, fourth quarter, had a little letdown, but they were, a good team, weather the storm, and just keep plodding along, and hopefully, good players make big plays, and that's what happened in the end. Good players made big plays, and amazingly, and I'm not, two freshmen. I mean, the defensive back and Ryan Williams, freshman, but also you had Jalen Milrow back there throwing that football, and so it was good. He looked confident. He didn't seem rattled. I don't think the team was really rattled at all. I think the fans were rattled because they got, feeling really good really early and thought it was going to just be a total. But that didn't happen. So I think the fans got rattled, but I didn't see a lot of concern or just angst and anger, whatever, in the players. I think they settled in, and that's good to see, especially in a game like that. Very good to see. A lot of maturity right there. A lot of maturity.
Yeah, and I see that Ryan Williams had 6 receptions, 177 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. Like, that was pretty awesome right there. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that is for a young guy like that. I mean, every week we're talking more and more and more about him. And I told you last week I was curious to see how Georgia defended defended him, and I think there were a few. They're kind of, I guess, midway through the game, second quarter into the third. I think they, except for a couple of plays, I think they covered him, pretty well. But then there, the last play, I mean, he was just one on one, and he just out athleted that defensive back. So he one on one, he was able to show the skills, and so that's good. I noticed he got freshman SEC Freshman of the Week this past week, and Jalen got Offensive Player of the Week. So it's pretty good, pretty good.
Well, this young man is 17 years old. He's not even 18 yet, and he's already making huge plays in Tuscaloosa.
And
And
and you see that. Go ahead.
and does anybody know who the youngest Heisman winner ever was?
No, I do not. Johnny Manziel. I don't know. It'd be. I mean, there's only been a few sophomores. I don't think there's ever been a freshman. I may be wrong. I mean,
There's
um,
been 2 freshmen,
oh, who
actually.
were they? Really? I forgot.
Johnny Manziel and Jameis Winston. But,
Oh yeah, I thought Johnny was a sophomore. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
And
But,
James had a great season. Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, the youngest Heisman winner ever so far is Lamar Jackson, and he was 19 years old, basically 16 days away from turning 20 when he won it, and he was 4 days younger than Jameis Winston when he won it. So
Well,
we've never had an 18-year-old win the Heisman, let alone a 17-year-old win it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Right now, he'll have a rough road ahead because right now I'm leaning Milrow. That guy is
Ooh.
having a great year, and he had the interception, there at the end of the second first half, right there going in, and it was just a fluke right there. But I mean, guys throwing the ball well, receivers are catching the ball, he's running the ball. I mean, he is. I know Jackson Dart over there, they're getting, throwing all over the field and stuff like that. But we learned a couple of things this past weekend with regard to that. But I mean, consistently week in and week out, I mean, Jalen Milrow, he's got to start moving up that ladder. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited about Ryan Williams, but right now I got Milrow. I'd have Ron Williams. I'd have him up in probably in the top 10 right now because, I mean, he's outstanding plays and stuff like that. But I would have Milrow up there in top 3. I don't know who's going to win it. A lot of games left to play, but I would have him up there now he would be there Heisman night for sure right now. And I don't think there's going to be anybody from Auburn there.
No, not even close.
Hey, I was watching Auburn and once again quarterback play, but really Auburn should, there you go. Auburn should have won this game. I mean, they really had the game in their hand. The thing that puzzles me the most, you show that picture right there, is look at it. Okay, they've got 3rd and 4. All right, right there within field goal range, basically. I mean, 40 yards. I mean, that kid can kick it. And so you're looking for, 3rd and 4. All right, and why are you throwing the ball? And you got Hunter back there. Offense, the skills. I mean, give the ball to Hunter, and you got to run the clock. It's 4. You can see 4 minutes and 12 seconds, and so they're throwing the ball, and so you can see the quarterback there to the left, eyes right on this receiver that you can see down here to the right. And what he doesn't see, he's telegraphing. And if I ran this clip, you would see all of a sudden that linebacker where I've got the blue arrow, he is staring right at Peyton Thorne's eyes. And he started coming up, and then he starts backing up, and you can see that throwing lane right there where the receiver's going to wind up right there in front of that referee to the right. And look at that linebacker. He is backing up. You run the video, he starts backing up and throws a pick right to him. And lo and behold, guess what? He takes it, all the way, pick 6. So bottom line is, Coach Freeze, why are you throwing the ball right now? Why? It makes no sense to me. And it's evidently it's a called route because there's nobody else to throw to. Look, right side, nobody else to throw to, called route. He's telegraphing it, and boom, ball game. So, I mean, and up until this point, look, 4 minutes left to go in the game. Auburn was in control of this game. They were. So, you got to ask some questions down there.
Yeah, it's not looking good over in Auburn, but I mean, I would not be suggesting firing Hugh Freeze because that's kind of like just throwing the baby out with the bathwater when you do. Because it's like That's why they're not up there with the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Floridas, you know, well, the Alabama, LSUs, Georgias in the SEC is because every time they slip on a banana peel, they fire their coaches. Like,
Yeah,
they always
yeah, yeah. Nobody's ever happy down there, and it's been a revolving door. Gus Malzahn, I thought he did a great job. Great job. That down there, everybody knows more than, and too many people with the money and I guess in control put too much pressure on the administration, sports department, and a lot of weird things happen. But right now, it's just. I mean, they can't get out. They keep stepping on their own toe. I mean, they can't get out of the way of themselves. And so, I mean, they'll put it together at some point. They'll put a good game together. But right now, it's just come every week. It's just scratch your head. What are they doing? And Peyton Thorne had a great game. He was playing really well, but that one right there looked like a call route, telegraphed. And why are you throwing them 3rd and 4? 4 minutes left to go in the game. I mean, run it. If you don't make it on if you don't make it on 3rd down with the run, then run it on 4th down. I'm gonna take my chances with Hunter. Okay, Jaquez Hunter. I'm gonna take my chances with him, not Peyton Thorne throwing it down the field.
oof.
Sorry, that's just me.
That quarterback situation is a disaster over in Auburn, and if every game was at Auburn, like, every ranked opponent was at Auburn, it would be a close loss. It literally would be.
Well, I mean, 5 home games. I mean, number one, that's a problem. Okay, 5 straight home games. These gurus of scheduling, but you would think that instead of 2 and 3, there'd be a much better football team. California, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and now they got to go on the road, and it's not going to get any easier. And then now kids, the confidence level is not there, and there's only going to be another game or two they're going to be able to, or they're going to lose players, meaning players going to lose faith, and then the season's gone. So they're sitting on the edge right now. That season is very close to, they're teetering on the brink, and that season is very close to just falling off the edge, and it'll get really, really ugly because the players they're affected. They read, they know the media,
Yeah.
they see what's going on social media, so it's going to be a problem. So they're going to have to get something good. They need a break. Okay, that break doesn't need to happen against Alabama, but right now that team they need something good to happen, and
I just wonder if they're desperate enough for a QB to the point where they get Matthew Sluka from UNLV when he's like, "Oh, I'm out of here."
Holy Cross, guy stab you in the back. Yeah, I'd want that kid playing for me. All
But,
that commercial will be the money. Hey, y'all, they got what they asked for out there.
There we go. And the
Now,
IT guy.
I saw them talking on ESPN Game Day this past weekend a lot with regard to that, and it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better, and somebody's going to have to take the reins. I know they were talking Coach Saban, if he would take whatever, but if I were him, at his age, I'd just enjoy life with Miss Terry and making commercials and.
Oh yeah, those Aflac commercials, random appearances on the Pat McAfee show, doing College Game Day. I mean, I think he's happier being. I think he's happier being the rat poison at ESPN instead of having to fight the rat poison.
Exactly. He's in a good situation and he deserves it. And I don't think but they need somebody like him that knows football and knows players and knows that paying all this money to these kids is not a good thing. Because now some of these are still teenagers and they're pros. They're getting paid to play. And so that's professional. And so somebody needs to take the reins and get it in line because other players are going to walk out. We thought, players back in the old days not playing in the bowl games was a big deal. What about this? I mean, you're 3 games in the season and you quit.
UNLV did fine without that Sluka guy, so it's like, what? Sluka's like, okay, I'm screwed.
That guy's poison. Okay, because I mean, he ruined himself. I mean, he should have. But just walking and turning back on your teammates and stuff like. Of course, he hadn't been there very long, so he didn't have a lot of.
I think somebody from his family or his friend circle got in his ear telling him he deserved better. Whereas, like, they didn't really know the whole reality. They didn't read the whole contract. So they thought they knew more than they actually did. So, but now that Matthew kid, I'm gonna tell you right now, whoever got in his ear, I got a feel I don't know if he's gonna be very happy with them this Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be very awkward at the dinner table. But, the IT
Very
guy
merry,
of the
very
Ja
merry Christmas.
yeah, there you go. The IT guy and of the Jackson and Crimson Tide Live wish me a happy birthday. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that your Auburn Tigers lost. We wish you a lot of luck against Georgia. You're gonna need it, my friend. And Rough Rider Returns also wished me a happy birthday. I appreciate it. Uh, yeah. Before we go to the ad, I'll give a little backstory about how we celebrate birthdays. So we always celebrate birthdays for a week. Like, we always do that at home. Like, we celebrate it for a week. Like, it's pretty cool tradition that to the point where it's like I try to pass it on to everybody I see. But, how are you celebrating it, man?
Are you talking about me?
Mhm. Yeah, how are you celebrating your birthdays?
Me, I'm just pretending they don't exist anymore. Now, usually, a little family stuff, and I do a lot of traveling with regard to. I've been to a lot of places. I've been to, Paris and Budapest and Vienna and a lot of. So we try to a lot of times. Me and Elaine and my wife, we pick a place that we haven't been, and we go travel. And not sure. We just got back from Ireland, Scotland, and probably pick a place and may not be able to go. And my birthday's on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Yeah,
rats.
yeah, Valentine's Day. So usually in school, but we try to do something, AEA, spring break or first of the summer, and usually with us some type of traveling. We love to travel, so that's how we typically celebrate. But it's only one day, and I've quit counting, so don't ask.
Oh, wait. Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
will say, I've got another suggestion on what to get for your family members and friends, and especially coworkers for your birthday. Come on in and get the latest new book coming out on October 29th, 2024, The Disputed National Champions, College Football's Historical 1990s Reset by Mark Rogers himself at the Voice College Football. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is an upcoming book that I recommend everybody go and get. You can get it on Kindle, you can get it on paperback. You'll learn what happened during the 90s, how the decade changed the sport, why the championship results should be questioned, how to critically think through the scenarios, to appreciate the accomplishments of teams that were not recognized as champions. This book provides an in depth analysis of the changes, controversies, outcomes that defined a decade of college football. So, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are looking for a top notch birthday gift or an early Christmas gift, buy this book. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to love it, especially if you love college football. Eh, College
It's,
football history, I'm going to tell you right now, go get this book.
it explains why we're in this scenario we are today. I mean, it's that season. I mean, it brings it all into perspective. Everything, right? Everybody started rethinking, uh, the trying to unify the national championship. Who deserves? Who is the actual? And so, yeah, and it'd be a good deep dive into
There you
get a
go.
lot of pertinent inside information and it be a way to realize some things why we are where we're at today and I don't know, it's still crazy then, crazy now.
There you go. Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about this upcoming book coming out on October 29th, 2024, 2 days before Halloween. Stay tuned for more. But there was a tweet that I saw from Brett McMurphy this week. And I was just kind of like, come on, you really believe that? And he said something about the past coaches that have defeated Kirby Smart didn't end well for them. And I'm gonna go ahead and find that tweet, but I just don't think that's gonna be the same thing with Kalen DeBoer. That's just not happening. So here, yeah,
What are we in conspiracy theories? I don't know.
yeah.
And I mean,
So
Coach Smart hadn't been a head coach very long, so I don't know where we're getting all this. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, so he's asking the question about whether Kalen DeBoer is doomed by the Kirby curse. I don't think that's gonna happen. I really doubt that, honestly. I
Let
don't.
me ask you, what's the Kirby curse? I'm sorry, I haven't heard of this. Is there a Kirby curse? You play
Yeah,
and lose, and you lose your job.
yeah. Well, apparently so. I mean, this is like a new thing I learned. But it's
Okay.
like, but
So who we
I'm
got
just
here? Hugh Freeze.
Tom Herman, Butch Jones. Butch Jones is a disaster as head coach. Gus Malzahn, Derek Mason, Jim McElwain. Now, a lot of these now Malzahn, yeah, Auburn beat Georgia in 2017. Texas defeated Georgia in the 2019 Sugar Bowl. Butch Jones had that win against Kirby with that Hail Mary pass. Like, oh man. So a lot of things didn't end well for Tennessee since at that time. Hugh Freeze, well, I mean, he's Hugh
Well, I mean,
Freeze.
all of this stems from people wanting instant success. Hiring a coach, thinking it's instant success. They're going to, mesh with the fan base, mesh with administrators and stuff like that. And it's too, I mean, too many politics involved with it, too much money involved with it today, and too many people donating money and expecting influence and things of that nature. I'm gonna be honest with you, the worst mistake Auburn ever made was getting rid of Gus Malzahn. I mean, in the last 10 years was Gus Malzahn. Coach Malzahn was a great coach. I mean, time and time again, he an innovator, smart guy. I think his wife was a little bit quirky, but I thought he did a great job there and everything. And I thought he deserved a little bit more backing than what he got. So, and I don't know if Kirby Smart had any influence with regard to that, but they thought that everything was going to swing away from Auburn and toward Georgia, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. Time will tell, but right now I'm not a believer.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so basically Nick Saban retired because he beat Kirby. Like, I don't get it, and Paul Johnson, was the head coach in 2016 when Georgia Tech defeated
Georgia Tech,
Georgia.
yeah.
Ed O was the head coach of LSU when LSU defeated Georgia in 2018. Will Muschamp, I mean, Will Muschamp in 2019, meh.
Yeah,
Uh,
Florida.
yeah. Dan Mullen at ESPN, that's our fifth coach that's out of coaching. Dan Mullen, he's now at ESPN, but I think he's doing all right. But somebody needs to, I don't know if he's got a cameo, but if he does, somebody needs to pay him to use a Uncle Eddie line.
Mm.
Right.
But what time did you get in bed the other night?
Oh, Saturday night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's this thing called
Did you go right to
bedtime?
sleep? Did you go right to sleep after the game, or did you have to
Nope, nope,
too
un
wired like me, a little wired?
nope,
I thought everything was good until um, I thought the tip ball, the first interception for Milrow, not that one, but there toward the end, it's right after that one. They were the tip ball when they were going in, and there was like less than 2 minutes left to go in the game, and gosh, that would have 35. That would have been huge, and of course, they would it happened in the interception, but then we get the ball back. Did a great job on defense, got the ball back, and then now show that picture. Now we're 27 seconds left to go in the half. And you can see that's the 35-yard line going in. And look at this guy from Georgia. This was the one that Coach DeBoer got all upset. And I don't blame him. I saw it too. And I was like, how do you miss that? I mean, the guy's mugged right there and no call. And that would have been an automatic first down. And now 27 seconds left. We're still moving. And who knows? We got a great kicker. Might have added a few more points to it. So, I mean, I thought the end of the half kind of inspired, shall we say, kind of gave, Georgia a little bit of break. Could have been a lot worse. A lot of points left on the table, and didn't happen. And second half was second half. So I thought that was big. I thought that play right there and the tip ball going in the half, gosh, we could have been close to 40, and that would have been unheard of. And then what it kind of did is, you can go to the stats right there. It kind of set up the second half and all the fourth down conversions. I mean, my gosh, Georgia was 5 for 5, fourth down. And we'll talk in a second about, what to work on going into, this week and the rest of the season. But obviously, when you're way up at halftime like that, 30-7, could have been a lot worse. And then you force teams to go for it on fourth down, and too many mistakes. If you've got 4 downs to get 10 yards, you ought to get it. But then we blew some. We gave them 2 in fourth down. We gave up too many big plays. And penalties. Lawson had one there on fourth down, grabbing jersey. So, but you can see the game at halftime. It was stunning. But then in the second half, gave up the big plays and let Mr. Beck, just sit back there and swing it around a little bit. Blew some coverages. And I figured out Carson Beck. I figured out his doppelganger. There he is. Look at him. Show the doppelganger. Show his.
Oh, here we go.
I forget who he looks like. Show it. Show Steve.
Yeah. Yep. Old Steve Buscemi.
Oh yeah, show it.
Yeah, here we go. We're gonna find it, but it's funny. He doesn't tip.
It's amazing. Oh please, I hope it works. There, look at there, and show Carson. Can you toggle back and forth?
Here we go.
One more. Amazing. Steve Buscemi. I love that guy. But anyway, I was looking the other night that he had his helmet off, and I was like, Steve, I didn't know you played football.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one? I know I can't be the only one that kind of latched onto this, but I saw it the other night, and it was something funny for me, at least.
Mr. Paint, baby.
Yeah.
I don't tip. It's like, don't tip these guys over here, but tip these guys over there.
Oh yeah. I love what was that movie?
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah, and then the other one was what was the one up in Wisconsin or Minnesota?
Yeah, North Dakota. Actually, that was Fargo.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, I love that movie. True story, by the way. It's based on a true story. That was Coen Brothers.
They smoke a freaking peace pipe. It's like, he's getting the crap beaten out of.
Yeah. But anyway, I saw that and I thought that was show Steve one more time. I just thought that was such I don't know, something about that just caught me.
Oh, but
Carson did a good job. But I mean, 4 downs, and you do such a great job on and I go back to the stats because I'm right. I'm gonna brag on myself. All right. I said we talked about it last week, and I said I'd look at third down. Who's winning, on third down? And Alabama, I mean, they were doing great on third down, but then I didn't, look at fourth down. Now I got to rethink that little paradigm right there. Then we'll change. Great on third down.
I remember some guy that was on the Ocho at the Voice College Football a year ago, but he was saying stuff like third down conversion rates don't matter. It was like the early part of the year. I'm like, okay,
I
you've
heard
been
some
sleeping
guys.
glue.
Yeah, I heard some guys commenting on that this week on sports shows and football shows, and I thought about it, and but then I looked at it, and third down is huge. But when you got the thing with them is they got way behind. They had no choice to go for it on fourth down, and so Alabama's got to do a better job on fourth down. And I'm going to tell you what they need to work on this week. Defensively, I thought offensively was pretty good. I was surprised we didn't run it as, well, I know Jalen ran it, but I was surprised we didn't run it as well or as much as we should have. I thought there were a couple of plays that our backs, Miller and Haynes, I thought they took I thought that, made a couple of, missed a couple of cuts. And then there was a third down. I thought Justice Haynes should have. We needed an extra yard. I thought he seemed to turn his shoulder and try to want to run around the defender and should have just plowed right over him and got the first down. But so I thought, but with regard to improvement, I think they got to work on defense and hands in the secondary hands. Too many hands all over the place. You got your hands on and things. I remember when Steve Spurrier started doing the timed routes. Everything. Warfel and those guys were. Everything was timed because a lot of teams back then were playing a lot of zone coverages and boom, 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 third count, ball's gone. And even before the receiver turned their head, the ball was already on the way. And so then all of a sudden to stop these timed routes, teams started, jamming, playing a lot of press man and that kind of stuff. But now the evolution from then started being the back shoulder throws. And so now everybody started, starting to throw. It's kind of like basketball, throw it where they ain't. And so if you're if you've got the ball in basketball and fixing to pass it, you're going to lead your lead your teammate where they ain't. So now everything is throwing it where they ain't, and so too much downfield contact. I mean, getting the guy's grill, stay close, but gotta keep your hands because now it seems like if you got your hands out, boom, they're going to throw it no matter what the hands are doing. But a lot of times hands are out and they're preventing the receiver from getting his hands up to catch the ball, grabbing jerseys and things to that nature. And so a lot of the pass interference calls are, just hands. But then, counter that crap. I mean, they throw the whatever and no call against Alabama right there, and the guy was raped. I mean, just bear hugged. I mean, it's unbelievable how, that wouldn't – nobody saw that one. So they need to work on, hands and positioning and more running with the receiver instead of just trying to get your hands all over him and slow him down and jam him, that kind of stuff. I predict a little bit of football is going to go back to a little, not so much a deep zone coverage, but it's going to be more of a, where you bring the corners up, but they're not going to be just so much bump and run and jamming and stuff like that, but just playing a little closer, but not so much having to, just chase the guy and getting a hand swatting game. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and Adam Lamparello talks about how the secondary got torched in the second half. Agreed.
Yeah.
And he talks about how Carson Beck had 17 passes for over 20 yards in one half alone. We need to improve that or else we will lose. Agreed.
Probably need to, look more at some zone and some blitzes, and we didn't do a lot of, stunts. We rushed forward, and he maneuvered, pretty well, and was able to, keep the play going and giving the receivers time to get open and that kind of stuff. And so I think, I just think, the bump and run and press and getting in the grill and stuff like that. I think today it seems you got to give yourself a chance to react and. You no eye contact with the ball, and you're just giving yourself, no chance. So I think, defense, the secondary is going to have to start thinking about, backing off a little bit and reacting to the ball instead of trying to prevent the ball from ever getting there.
Yeah, I mean, we were completely they were completely unprepared for our offense, but then they saw that halftime score is like, "Oh, we could lose this game. We gotta run. We gotta play. We gotta let's go. We gotta wake up." They
And
woke.
you would think Alabama did a great job when they had 15 play drive, and but even at that, penalties aided and kept the drive going and didn't play very well on fourth down, and so and then a lot of people don't realize we're playing some young kids back there, so we'll see, we'll see. A lot. We learned a lot right there. We learned, number one, Alabama can play with anybody. Okay. And we learned that we got some areas that we need to improve on. So the whole scenario turned out really well for Alabama. And I think it's hopefully inspiration for the future with the guys.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we learn quite a lot from this game because if we do not, it's gonna be ugly. So
We got some big games coming up. Vandy next week it'll be a challenge. The biggest thing with Vandy, and nothing against Vandy. All right. I've been up there and but nothing against them. But the biggest thing as a coach, and you try to get across to your players, the old big win, big letdown, because everybody's been looking at this game. Oh, I mean, excuse me, Georgia, and then you had the Wisconsin, and so now everybody's going to want to take a deep breath, and then next thing you know, bad things happen. People get hurt. They're not ready to play. They're not, they're not on their game, and mistakes happen. And instead of building, you kind of lose focus, and now you're starting back from square one. So I hope there's a lot of senior leadership coming in this game. You can't take a week off. Not at this point.
Yeah.
Not when you've climbed the mountain. Now you want to stay there, and you can't take a deep breath and just look at, oh, I've done this, and just think, take a pause and enjoy where you're at. And you got to stay, like we always say, stay hungry, and there's more left.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens because, like, we were talking a little bit off air, talking about how this is a possible letdown moment for Alabama.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Vanderbilt, that's the thing. Everyone brings their A game against Alabama. Nobody brings their A game against a Georgia State or New Mexico State. And I talked about last year on After Dark where people were saying, "Oh, well, Auburn's not going to keep it close to Alabama. They lost New Mexico State." But here's the thing. Everyone brings their A game against Alabama. Vanderbilt, you're not going to see you're not going to see a close game. I don't expect that, but maybe like a close first quarter. That's it, maybe. Yeah. And Austin makes
Yeah.
a great point. They almost beat Missouri.
Yeah, yeah, and then laid an egg against Georgia State. So scratch your head on that one. But which now you're dealing with Jekyll and Hyde. So which Vanderbilt team's going to show up? And that's what you got to be prepared for. But you're right. The A game, the good Vandy's going to show up, and so it'll be Alabama's got to go out and just slap them in the nose and get their attention real quick and get in, get out, and live another day. But just going up there and showing up, that's not a good sign. And if that happens, then we got things. Now we got other things to worry about. So get in there and do your job. And have fun. Have fun with what you're doing, and then just let's get ready for the next one. But and then you look at Auburn now. Auburn's got to play Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And now they got to finally go on the road. And so, but then let's see. Georgia's got kind of similar situation. Big game, big letdown. How are they going to respond?
Oh yeah.
And you'll see.
Well, and
We'll find out about Georgia now.
oh yeah. Well, and we'll know a little bit more about Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt.
Mhm.
Now, he was a pretty good quarterback at New Mexico State, and he's been having some pretty good moments at Vandy. So that's pretty cool right there. And even though he's 12th in the league in passing yards for the season, tied for 11th in passing touchdowns, he still has some good moments, especially what they did against Virginia Tech. That was pretty huge.
Which tells you, I mean, they're not a bad football team, not a bad, and never have been. They've always been competitive and good program. Uh, not elite, like they don't have the elite players like your Alabama, your Georgia, and Tennessee and stuff like that. But they are dangerous, and who knows? They start believing. You let them you let them in. Let me in the house, and I start raining threes from the the half court, and next thing you know, I'm here, baby, and I'm having fun. And hey, we're gonna light it on fire and throw caution to the wind and see what happens. So that's what you run into. You can run into games like that, and we've had players against Alabama, and just Steve Garcia, South Carolina. I mean, he couldn't miss. And then way back, who was the guy from Southern Miss? Reggie Collier beat us. Yeah. So we Brett Favre back in what was it, 91, 92? Brett Favre at Southern Miss beat Alabama and Auburn same year. So I mean, some kids can get in that zone and get in that moment and make some noise.
All the noise, noise, noise.
I'll never forget that
1990.
Steve Garcia. I'll never forget that Steve Garcia game. That guy, he just threw it. Coach Spurrier, I mean, that guy just threw it out there, and wherever he threw it, everybody it was like, ding, caught. So, you talking about, that was crazy. And they won.
Yeah. Well, in Sports Talk with Austin says Vanderbilt used to be the laughing stock of the SEC. Not anymore. I mean,
No, I
they're
never
not.
thought. I never thought they were the laughing stock of the SEC. I'm so used to saying ACT, the SEC. They just hadn't had the success that the other programs, and you staring. Of course, the academics there are also incredible, and then across a couple hours away, you get Tennessee over there. So it's kind of been a hamper for them.
Oh yeah.
But basketball, baseball, and everything else, you got to go through Vandy.
Yeah, we will roll, no doubt about that. I mean, I know it's in Nashville, but still, though, it's not like you're playing against. Well, I mean, Titans are not doing so hot, so I mean, maybe we could beat them.
And then you're in Nashville, and so a lot of fun there. So it'll be sold out. It'll be raucous because they
Rock.
they have a lot to offer there in Nashville. I'll be up there in October. I'm going to a concert up there.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun witnessing the Alabama Vanderbilt matchup at 3:15 p.m. Central Time on SEC Network. It'll be interesting seeing what's going on there.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we're looking at the prediction time. I'm thinking it's gonna be a 38-10 game. There's gonna be a little bit of a letdown in the first quarter, but then Alabama wakes up big time against Vanderbilt. It's gonna be a good one right there. But we do have to work on our secondary, no doubt about that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a good, speed wise should be a good scenario where they can try a different technique. Um, I'm gonna go a little higher as far as Alabama. I think they've got way too much speed. Speed kills, the old saying, speed kills, nothing like speed. I'll predict Alabama's gonna be pushing 50.
Ooh,
Yeah.
50 to.
I'm gonna somewhere I think I think they'll blow a drive or two. I'm gonna say, all right, so I'm gonna give a field goal. So 52-14.
Oh, 52-14. Nice.
14.
I like it.
I think late in the game, Vandy may have a nice little drive against some third players, stuff like that, get a late one. So I'm going 52-14.
5 Adam thinks it's going to be 55-10. Adam says if you think it's 55-10 Vandy, you should call 911 immediately.
Yeah, I think somebody mistyped that.
Oh, man. Adam's a very good friend.
I don't think Vandy's going to hit 55 all season.
Adam Lamparello is a very good friend of the voice of college football, and I'm gonna tell you right now, eh, one of these days he should have his own show at the network. I mean, this guy is a genius when it comes to college football. But
Mm.
I'm I'm loving it. 222 to it's like I don't think we're in NCAA 25, but
Yeah, he's
I
back in
pre
Swanee College of the South days and scores.
yeah, Georgia Tech, Cumberland, and
Oh, was that it?
uh,
I knew it was something like that. Yeah, there I am, 52-14. Yeah.
yeah, that was in the 1910s, I believe. That was during the 1916. So that was the year before the USA got involved in World War One and before the Spanish flu.
Yeah, there
The
you go. But yeah,
and
that was a crazy, crazy score. I thought it
for
was
sure.
Sewanee, but yeah, it was Cumberland.
Yep. And 4 years after Iowa State's last conference title in all of college football.
Really? Iowa
Yeah. The
State. Oh.
Yeah, the last time Iowa State won a conference title in college football was 1912 in the Missouri Valley, and the last time prior to that was 1911.
Dang, Jack, you are an encyclopedia. Wow. Did not know that. Who would have thought that? Hmm.
I mean they put that every year in the preseason magazines. So
Oh,
they make it
I haven't read those in a while.
I mean, they make it look easy, man. It's
Athlons.
easy.
Yeah.
Oh, Athlons, Lindy Sports,
Yeah.
Phil Steele. I
Those
mean,
are
they
great
put
magazines. I remember them. Yeah. Oh, and they used to the pig whatever in the paper. They used to the uh, I'll look that up. I'll have that next time. The old for some of us from some of those out there that are like me, old in the paper they'd publish the pigskin pickers or something like that, and anyway, those were good old days. And
oh
Bill
man.
Fleming, remember old Bill Fleming used to be the voice of college football. Bill Fleming, he did the review show on TV back in the old days. What was it? Providence, Prudential College Football Scoreboard. He'd do it on Sunday mornings. So I
Yeah.
hope there's some old guys out there like me that remember that and can appreciate that. But
Oh,
anyway, yeah,
there's
I'm
plenty.
I'm headed in the old. Forget that. We'll get back to now instead of
Oh, here we
reminiscing.
so it'll be interesting to see what goes on. And I was gonna say, tune in Monday through Wednesday, not every morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time for the College Football Show with Mark Rogers on the Voice of College Football, where he has some of the top-notch experts and talks about some of the biggest games coming up in the week, including today's episode where he talked with Ty Hudson from Tusk Talk with Ty and Jason Pressler from Clemson Insider. And I'll tell you right now, it's a great watch. And don't forget to tell your friends and family and cashiers at Publix about Thursday, Friday nights for the college football show, where Mark has on the college football show, goes over his take on what's going on in all college football, but also catch Crimson Tide live on your favorite audio platform on Amazon, Audible, Spotify, Apple Podcast. You're gonna wanna hear the latest in all of Alabama football on your favorite audio platform. And my birthday wish is for Alabama at the Voice College Football to get the 2,500 subs. We're 73 subs away from getting there, and we can't do it without your help. We thank you so much for tuning in to Alabama at the Voice College Football. This could not happen without you guys. This couldn't happen without Mark and TJ and everybody at the Voice College Football. Thank you guys so much for making this happen. And thank you, Johnny, for coming on every week for Alabama Live at the Crimson Tide Live at the Voice College Football. And I will also be hosting Saturday night. Well, yeah, this Saturday night. It'll be Saturday night after Alabama Vanderbilt, where me, Johnny, and a few friends will be going over the post game of the Alabama Vanderbilt game. And I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be a wild one indeed.
Yeah,
And
a
oh
lot of
yeah,
tailgating before that one.
oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
All right, man.
Oh man, what else did we miss anything before we get ready for the Longhorns live show at Texas the Boys College Football? Hmm, nothing.
I don't think so.
Nope. I mean, it was yeah, Vanderbilt. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen with them. It's they're gonna bring their A game, but their A game's not gonna be enough.
No, going too much, talent,
I
speed
am
kills.
speed.
Won't be able to hang. Vanderbilt typically hangs close, early, and then talent takes over. But Vandy, and they have the same scenario in their baseball and these other programs. I mean, they're very talented. I mean, football wise, but other sports. I mean, Vandy is a powerhouse, and so but this particular football, it's the talent should be, or I mean, should be. There's a big difference, and so we'll find out Saturday that there probably is going to be a big difference in talent level. So,
Yeah, and I don't think Clarkley gets on the hot seat, but you never know in SEC country because I mean Vanderbilt's always having a losing season.
yeah,
But
money, way too much money in athletics these days, way too much, and people uh, buy their way to influence, and but if you're putting a good product out there week after week after week, I mean, you got to respect it. So I just don't respect when good coaching and good teams and overtime are not respected and not given. Everybody's going to have a bad year every now and then, and sometimes it may be two. But good coaches have proven themselves, and give them time, and they'll turn things around. It's the nature of the beast. But today we're just one season gone, and that's nature. That's the new paradigm. Produce right now, or it's over, and that's money. Money drives it.
yep, money talks.
Money
Everything else
talks.
walks.
Yeah, and you're here today, gone tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
We'll buy somebody else. Too much money to waste.
Well, Johnny, what have you got going on this week?
I'm doing, teaching. I'm on the road. I'm home today, um, but on the road. It's been kind of strange, the last few days because of all the weather and but tomorrow I'll be in Russellville, Alabama, and then later on the week I'll be in Scottsboro. Today I was in Grant, Alabama, up on Gunners Mountain, and at DAR middle school there, doing some coaching them up on some content, and so I'll be all over Alabama and all around this week, and then hopefully I'll be back at home for the game. So just having fun, really enjoying being with kids. Had a great time up on Gunners Mountain. Beautiful up there, the scenery, the people. I really, really enjoyed it. I like what I'm doing right now because I'm in areas that I've known about, but haven't been able to really be and spend some quality time. And then being in the classroom with kids and because the kids are kind of a reflection of the community. And when you're in some of these schools and some of these kids are so good, so the community is just awesome, and it's fun going there and being able to go back. So it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, there we go. Is it fall break this week or next week
For a
for
lot
you?
of public schools, fall break is this week. Private schools, usually 9 weeks. First 9 weeks, we used to be report cards every 6 weeks. Now it's kind of 9 weeks, and so the 10th week schools are taking a little fall break. That kind of scenario. So some public schools, it depends on when you start. Back when I started, there were 3 reasons to be a teacher: June, July, and August. Well, they took August. So it depends on when the school started. If they start 1st of August, by the end of September, they're ready. Fall break, 9 weeks already taken care of. So just not as uniform as it used to be.
Yeah. But there's another thing for the channel you can also do now. And we got a little something special for all of you. And voila. You can now become a YouTube member at Alabama at the Voice College Football. You can join for $2.99 a month for Crimson Faithful, where you can get a loyalty badge next to your name, and you get a custom emoji to use, and comments and live chat, and you get some shout outs, and you get priority replies and access to monthly hangout if you become a Saban disciple for $4.99 a month. And of course, for $9.99, you become a Bear Bryant legend by connecting on social media, and you can give out content requests for Alabama at the Voice College Football. What do we need to talk about? What's a subject that you think we need to talk about? Come on in here and become a Bear Bryant legend for $9.99 a month. It's like making an investment in the future for yourself, because you connect with us, I guarantee you won't regret it. You're gonna be
Join the
very happy.
family. Join the
Yep.
family. Yeah, we'll
The
talk it
more the
up.
merrier.
We'll talk it up. We'll have a good time.
There we go. And
All right, man.
there you go. You got some fans. You got a big fan in Adam Lamparello. He's loving what you're doing, and so do I, man. And you can
thank him.
There we go. And we love Adam Lamparello and what he's doing. And I'll tell you one thing. We're gonna have to follow each other one of these days, Al, because we'll have to talk about some things for sure. Do some little collaborations. That's gonna be fun. So you can, and if you use Facebook, come on in and find Johnny Burks, and you can talk with him about your takes on Alabama football, and y'all can have a pretty good conversation. And you can find me on Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube, where I'm 125 subs away from 500. And you can find me on X at Jackson VOCFB, and on Instagram and Threads at Jackson Johnson 543-908. And with that being said, I wish y'all a very happy day, a happy Monday, a happy rest of the week, and get ready for the Alabama postgame show,
Hopefully
because
a
that will be,
happy Saturday.
oh yeah, it's gonna be a happy Saturday. That I do know for a fact. So with that being said, may you all have a happy Monday, and stay safe, stay cool, stay away from the heat. Well, it is fall, so
Stay
back
away
to
from the
saying stay
rain.
warm.
Last week it's been stay away from the rain, but I think
Yeah.
we finally reached near the end. And bless those
Okay.
people's heart all over the Southeast. I mean, I've seen pictures that are just horrifying. I mean,
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
And now may we send you on over to Longhorns Live 23 at Texas at the Voice College Football from Matthew Miller himself, as he goes over the latest on Texas football. And with that, we wish you all a happy Monday, and to stay safe and stay warm. It's cold out.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.